You were not born into this world by accident. Even though sometimes you may feel like a mere grain of sand lost in an infinite desert, or like a flicker of light that disappears when the vastness of the night covers the sky, your existence carries meaning that transcends what your eyes can see. Human life is not random. It is not an accident of biology. It is a chapter in the eternal unfolding of consciousness. Yet it is precisely because of the immensity of the universe, the ungraspable magnitude of galaxies and the mysterious forces that move reality, that we often feel so small. We feel insignificant before the whole. But here lies a paradox. It is in that very feeling of insignificance that we can discover the true purpose of being alive. From the first moment you looked at the night sky as a child, something stirred inside you. A whisper, a silent question. What am I doing here? Why is there something rather than nothing? Why am I me with this consciousness in this body and not someone else? These questions, instead of weakening you, are the very doors that lead to the path of awakening. Every time your soul feels the weight of its own smallness, it is an invitation to connect to something greater than yourself. The human being lives caught between two dimensions. On one hand, you are matter, a fragile body subject to disease, to time, to aging, to death. On the other hand, you are spirit, awareness, a spark of the divine, something that no microscope can dissect or scientist can fully explain. And it is in the tension between these two realities that the purpose of life unfolds. You are not here merely to accumulate possessions, pleasures, or titles. You are here to remember who you are beyond the mask of the ego, to discover the eternal essence within you that has existed before birth and will continue after death. But let us be honest, this is not an easy journey. Most of the time, life feels like an endless cycle of obligations. Wake up, work, consume, sleep, repeat. A machine that chews up time and spits out souls exhausted, without meaning, anesthetized. It is no wonder so many ask themselves, what is the point of all this? The system in which you live is designed to keep you asleep, busy, distracted, so that you never stop to question the deeper reality. But the cracks always appear. Pain arrives, losses happen. Death reminds us of our fragility. And in these moments of silence and despair, the question returns, why am I here? The feeling of insignificance is not your enemy, it is your master. It teaches you that ego, the illusion of being the center of everything, is a fragile lie. The universe is vast, yes, but inside you there is a vastness just as great. The same intelligence that sustains galaxies sustains your heartbeat. The same energy that keeps the stars burning flows in your veins. You are not outside the whole, you are a fractal of it. You are the universe, experiencing itself for a brief moment through human eyes. The purpose of human life, then, is not to escape insignificance by inflating the ego with power or achievements, but to embrace humility and recognize the connection with the whole. This recognition awakens love, compassion, and wisdom, because when you realize that you are one with everything, how could you harm another being? How could you destroy nature without destroying yourself? The real awakening is not discovering that you are special in isolation, but realizing that everything is sacred, and therefore, so are you. But how do we live this in practice? The world constantly pushes you in the opposite direction. You are taught to compare yourself, to compete, to seek validation in other people's eyes, in social status, in material success. And so, you spend years of your existence trying to prove that you are someone, without realizing that the real treasure was always inside you. To live the purpose of life is to invert this logic. It is to stop chasing approval and start living from inner truth. It is to recognize that your value does not depend on external applause, but on how aligned you are with your soul. The path begins with silence. In silence, you remember, when you withdraw from the noise, the endless voices, the artificial distractions, you begin to hear the subtle whisper of your essence. Meditation, prayer, contemplation of nature, or even moments of deep solitude. These are the portals that connect you back to the source. There, the illusion of insignificance dissolves because you feel part of the whole. You perceive that there is no separation. The same divine consciousness that holds galaxies together is breathing through you. But there is also the shadow. Every soul that seeks light must face the darkness within itself. That is part of the purpose. Your fears, traumas, insecurities, all the pain you try to bury. None of this exists to torture you, but to refine you. The pain you carry is the fire that can purify your spirit, if you have the courage to walk through it. It is in suffering that empathy is born. It is in loss that you learn the value of what remains. It is in your weakness that you discover a strength that is not yours alone, but that comes from the source. And here lies a truth that religions often simplify. Life is not just about rewards or punishments after death. Heaven and hell are states of consciousness you experience here and now. When you live disconnected from your essence, when you give yourself over to greed, hatred, envy, and fear, you are already in hell, even if you smile outwardly. But when you live in alignment with truth, when you embrace love, humility, and wisdom, you are already tasting heaven, even if your circumstances are challenging. The purpose of life is to shift this inner state from unconscious suffering to conscious awakening. Think about it. Why does the universe need you? Why are you here and not someone else? Because only you can express the divine in your unique way. Your story, with all its pains and victories, is the instrument through which the source manifests something that no one else could. You are a note in the great symphony of existence. If you do not sound your note, the melody of the whole is incomplete. This is not arrogance, it is responsibility. The universe entrusted you with a fragment of its essence so that you could shine it in your way, in the brief time you are here. So, even when you feel insignificant, remember, even the smallest star contributes to the beauty of the night sky. Even the shortest life leaves ripples that expand through eternity. Your gestures, your choices, your words, everything creates echoes in the invisible. Nothing is lost, everything matters. And this is the meaning of living. To live consciously, to remember who you are, to contribute with your light, no matter how small, to the expansion of the whole. But what happens after death? Many fear this moment as the great end, the final proof of insignificance. Yet, for those who awaken, death is nothing more than a passage. Just as birth was your entrance into the theater of matter, death is your exit. The body returns to the earth, but consciousness returns to the source. And there, you see with clarity everything you have lived, the lessons learned, the love shared, the opportunities missed. You understand that nothing was in vain. Every experience was a thread in the great tapestry of existence. And if you have not yet completed your learning, you return, in another time, in another body, until the soul matures enough to merge again completely with the eternal. This perspective changes everything. Because if life is a sacred school and death is not the end, then insignificance disappears. Each act of kindness, each moment of awareness, each gesture of love, all of this resonates forever. The purpose of human life is not measured in years, wealth, or fame, but in the depth with which you lived your truth and expanded consciousness. And perhaps you ask, how can I live aligned with this purpose today, in the middle of so much chaos? The answer is simple, though not easy. It is to choose presence, to choose love over fear, to choose truth over lies, to choose service over selfishness, to choose silence over noise. Every day, in every small choice, you have the chance to live either asleep or awake. The purpose of your life is fulfilled in these choices. Do not underestimate your influence. A single person connected to the source is capable of transforming the atmosphere around them. Your presence can calm storms in other people's hearts. Your words can plant seeds that flourish long after you are gone. Your example can inspire generations. That is why the purpose of life is not abstract. It is concrete, lived moment by moment, in the ordinary, in the simple, in the silent. And when the weight of insignificance returns, because it will return, do not run from it. Embrace it as a reminder of the vastness of the mystery. Let humility guide you, but also remember, you are not here by chance. The universe does not waste energy. If you exist, it is because the whole needs exactly what you bring. The purpose of human life is to awaken from the dream of separation and return to unity with the source. It is to remember that you are not a body that has a soul, but a soul that temporarily inhabits a body. It is to live each day as if it were sacred, because it is. And it is to die without fear, because nothing that is true can ever be lost. Now, the question remains, will you continue living as if you were insignificant, or will you embrace the truth that your existence is a divine mission? The choice is yours, and it is urgent, because every moment of unconsciousness is a moment wasted in the eternal journey. So, open your eyes. Feel the universe pulsing within you. Live your purpose. Do not wait for tomorrow. Do not wait for death. The time is now. The purpose is now. This is not just another video. It is a call, a reminder, a mirror for your soul. And if you have heard this message, it is because the source wanted to remind you of who you are. Watch the next video on this channel. It may be the key your soul has been waiting for. The piece that connects everything you just felt here. Do not stop now. Motivation. You need where your awareness expands and your soul finds direction.